You can welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm welcoming all for today's evening's program. Today, George sir will be speaking on ear problems. Murthy sir, please go ahead and introduce Mr. George sir.
Namaste, my dear homeopaths. Today, our Mr. George is taking ENT problems. The starting topic is ear first. This month he will take only ear. Mr. George is an Indian Engineering Service officer of 86 batch. He is a graduate engineer in electronics and telecommunications and has MBA in HR. He had served Government of India in various capacities for 41 years and got wide-ranging experience in broadcast technology, radar engineering, mining electronics, his human resources development, etc. etc. He is IES officer. He served radio and Doordarshan at Calcutta, Delhi, Vishakhapatnam, Alleppey, and more other projects and sites. He was faculty of National Academy of Broadcasting and Multimedia, Delhi from 1999 to 2006, and later he was head of the academy as additional director general from 2013 to 2018. He had received number of Akashvani awards for technical excellence and also visited many countries USA, Japan, China, Malaysia, etc. on government assignments. He is a fellow of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers and past president of Broadcast Engineering Society of India. Presently is consultant in broadcasting engineering and consultant India, Basil and New Delhi. And he is one of the most important homeopath in his area and he is practicing doctor. Welcome, Mr. George.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You had my biodata already ready with me.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Brief introduction.
You start, sir. You start.
So, shall I start, sir?
You, Judge, sir, you start.
The screen visible now?
No,
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
not yet.
You can do the
No,
sharing.
not yet.
There is a button called present now. You press that.
No. Now?
No, no.
No.
You just press the fifth button. Okay, now it's starting.
It's okay now?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Special my thanks to Dr. Murthy Garu for giving me an opportunity. I discussed with him and he said, okay, go ahead. So I thank him. I also thank the respected President Surendra Garu, Dr. Anup, and I think other faculty members are there, I think, online. And all my dear colleagues and participants in this today's program. A warm good evening to all of you. As already introduced, I'll be talking on ear problems and given the topic as ear, nose and throat because nowadays we always call the allopathic doctors as ENT specialist. So all the three are related. So I have given that heading, but today I will be mostly concentrating on the ear problems. So let us start. Now, little bit of human anatomy about the ENT. These photographs, courtesy I have taken from internet, and most of the topics I will be discussing are taken from different books and something from internet also. So that is the background of my presentation, and I have treated a few patients on ear problems, so that also is reflected in this presentation. Now, this is the anatomy of the human ear. If you look at this, the whole picture of the, it is so wonderfully by God that created the fantastic hearing sense of our human being so beautifully and crafted it in such a way that it never fades. So if you see, there are distinctly three parts. I have mentioned it in the presentation. You can see the outer part, the middle part, and the inner part. So we will see and discuss these things to understand how the ear functions. In the outer part, we have the auricle, which is visible outside, and also giving a beautiful figure to human being because of these ears. So the purpose of this is to concentrate or attract all the sound waves coming from different directions and guide it to the inner ear. So that is the purpose of this auricle, what you call external auditory canal, which is going deep inside our ear. And there is, this area is called meatus, and there are some glands around this area, or we have a feeling or we have an understanding that wax is something, some dirt which is produced or which is there in the ear canal, but it is not like that. The wax is being produced there in the auditory canal. So these sound waves which is collected by the auricle is traveling through the auditory canal and going there and meeting this point, which is called a tympanic membrane. This is an oval shaped membrane which is very thin, which is at the end of the auditory canal, which vibrates when the sound wave comes. So this is the middle ear. Middle ear is the red portion what is visible here. If you see, this a beautiful mechanism is crafted here. If you see this middle ear, there are some tiny bones which are actually called ossicles. They are the smallest human bones available in the, the smallest bones among all other bones in the body. There are three bones. They are in fact called ossicles. One of the ossicle, it is in the shape of a mallet, is connected to the membrane. So that is called malleus, and which is in turn connected to another ossicle, that is called incus, and the third one is stapes. It is connected, it is like a human, what is called a horseshoe, in the shape of horseshoe. So if you see, this beautiful mechanical type of structure is made to take even the smallest vibration of the membrane, and in a way it is amplifying, or we can say it is multiplied, that movement is multiplied by these three structures and connected to the inner ear. So this is the part of the second ear, that is the middle ear. This is shown in the red color. So this area, which is further extended to through a tube to the nose and the throat. Ultimately it is going to the throat, and this is called Eustachian tube. Eustachian tube, different people pronounce it in different way. This tube is going to the behind of our nose and further down to the throat. Of course, the nose end is going directly to the purpose of this is to have, or to have a equal pressure of the outside world to the inner side of the body. We know the nose is opened always, it is connected to the atmosphere, we are inhaling from there. So the pressure inside the nose and going up to the throat is coming in this tube and available on the one side of the membrane. And at the same time, the ear is open to the outside, so this side also is kept at the same pressure. The purpose of this Eustachian tube is that to maintain equal pressure on either side of the tympanic membrane, and also to drain out if there is any fluid accumulated in this area to the nose backside, and ultimately it goes to the through the throat and stomach, or you can spit it out. So the purpose of Eustachian tube is that. Now, after this, we go to the third part, that is the inner ear. This inner ear is showing in this violet color. It has got two parts. You can see a snail-like structure here, which is called cochlea. It's called cochlea, and in this it has got two parts. The cochlea has got some semicircular circular canals here, which is filled with what you call some sort of fluids. There are three such rings here, semicircular rings. It has got some fluids. This is actually moving. This liquid inside these canals are moving as per the movement of our body. This is to keep equilibrium of the body, or rather nowadays in the phones and all, you can see there are some sensors which senses the movement of the phone, whether it is moving vertically, horizontally, and all. Acceleration, we call it some type of acceleration. If it is happening, the phone will detect. In the same way, this is also, in the aircrafts also it is being used, symbol rings. So same way, the fluids flowing through these semicircular canals keeps the movement of the body in position, or rather it is being sensed to the brain just to know what is the position of your body and how it is moving. And this cochlea second part, this snail-like structure, this is actually moving when there is a movement in the membrane. So this membrane movement is some sort of amplification is done here, and it is putting pressure on this cochlea, and cochlea at the other side has got certain small particles, what they call it stereocilia, which converts these movements, mechanical movements or the physical movements, into electrical signals, and this is connected through the cochlear nerve to the brain. So this is one part of the inner ear, and you can also see the three semicircular canals which has got the fluid moving, that is also connected through vestibular nerve and going to the brain. So in one way, brain is constantly monitoring our human body's movement. For example, now in children and all, sometimes when we play, children, they simply rotate, and sometimes out of equilibrium, they go out of equilibrium and they fall. It is because the fluid inside these semicircular canals rotate fast, and that which is sensed by the body, human brain, and not able to balance itself. So in one way, the keeping the human body balanced is the purpose of this what you call semicircular canals. So this is also sensed, and as electrical signals it is going to brain. So this is in a nutshell about the human ear. It has got three parts: the outer ear, which collects the sound vibration, and it is taken inside to the membrane. Membrane converts this into small movements by the tiny bones which we call ossicles, and these ossicles are connected to the cochlea, and cochlea it is making it electrical signals and going to the brain. So this is how the brain works. It is very complicated when we look at it, but it is very interesting to see the human body creation. If you have all of us must have seen in the olden years, we were having gramophone record. In the gramophone record, we used to keep some what do you call the stylus or some needles, which takes the movement from the uh, rotating gramophone record. It is so when I saw this, I found it is almost similar to that. That to pick up the movement of this membrane, this malleus tiny bone is taking that movements and further connecting to the cochlea and going to brain. So this is how the human ear functions. We can also see a small hole here, a round window, which is connected or which is open to the inner ear. So if this also maintains an equal pressure, and also it has got other functions also, which I am not going to go into details, which I myself could also here. So that also will come into the middle ear, and through Eustachian tube it can escape. Let us go to the next. If you see the nose is also beautifully crafted. There are two separate parts in this. One is the visible part of the nose, what we call the anterior nose, and the back side of the nose is called posterior nose. So there are two separate divisions in this. And we know nose is directly connected to throat. So whatever we inhale through the nose, it goes directly to the throat. From there it is connected to the lungs. But this nose has got mainly two functions. One is this region, what you call olfactory region. Smell. The smell part is in this green area, or what you call the superior nasal concha. In this area, the sensory mechanism is there which senses the smell, and that is connected to the human brain. And the bottom part is the whatever we breathe, that air is to be connected to the what you call the chest part of the lungs. So it is connected to chest. So this area it is actually a combination of the throat and the nose. And you can also see this is the Eustachian tube which we talked about in the ear. So that is also, it is coming back to the nose of this is the nose entry, this is the back side of the nose. So that tube which is coming from the ear is connected here or opened here. So if any fluid or anything is there, it is directly going to the throat. And also the nose pressure, whatever air pressure is there in this, is also carried to the ear. So this is the what you call the nasal area. So we can broadly divide this into two. One is the smell part of it, other is the respiratory part or the respiratory mucosa. Remaining is part of the mouth. Now if you see throat has again three separate parts. One is called nasopharynx, that is just behind the nose, and the top, just below the skull. And the next one is behind the mouth. This is the area where the mouth and the nose, they are a common area. Both are actually meeting at this place, that is oropharynx. And next is the laryngopharynx, which is nothing but the housing the voice box. This is also has got another name, hypopharynx. So these three areas makes the throat. And this portion, this hypopharynx area where the voice box is there, larynx is the actual voice creator. The air coming from the trachea, that is coming from the lungs, is making this larynx to vibrate, and it produces the sound. And similarly, this air what you are inhaling is directed towards the trachea and going to the lungs. And this is the esophagus. esophagus is nothing but it is connecting the our stomach. A number of times Dr. Anup has mentioned and explained this. Esophagus carries the food to the stomach. So the whatever food which is coming, it is passing through this oropharynx and then it is going to esophagus. So this is in a nutshell the throat. I am not explaining all the parts, just to understand the structure of all these three. Now these three form the upper part of the respiratory system. I mean the lungs takes the air from the through the nose, and actually before it is entering the what you call the chest or your area where you breathe in, the air is filtered and some moisture is added to the air. It is not dry air is not going to the lungs. It is actually filtered, and there are some mucous membranes alongside. So if any dust or anything is there, it is absorbed by the mucous area, and then it is given a moisture content, and then it is going into the lungs. So we can say it is the whole area, the whole throat, ear and nose is part of the upper respiratory system, and there are several canals and tubes that interconnect them. They share the same mucous membrane, so they also share the same ailments, because the mucous membranes are all common, they are all connected together. I mean, one area is common for them. So if any ailment comes, it goes to all the places. And Eustachian tubes drains fluid from your ears into throat, and through the nasopharynx, it goes either, it can be taken to the stomach, or through the mouth it can be spitted out. This I already discussed. This also helps keeping the same air pressure inside and mid-ear and outside. I already explained this, the purpose of the Eustachian tube. And that is why when we get cold, cough, sore throat, ear pain, stuffy nose, all that comes. So we can see either, suppose first we get the nose problem, then slowly it spreads into the throat, and if the cold becomes severe, we also get the problems in the ear. So all these three are related together, and we also see many of the medicines we use in homeo, they are also more or, I mean, some of the main medicines, they are common for all them. Normally, either as per allopathic theory, either viral or bacterial infection. Any of these infection only affects these three ENT. So we can see if any of them is affected, all the three get affected. Now, what are the common ear problems? The main problem what we get is ear ache. Though it is common in the young children, they always cry due to earache in the early ages. So earache is otherwise coming to all the age group, but it is more so for the children. Then we sometimes get mild, not complete. Complete deafness means it's a totally a different problem. Then ear discharge. Some type of fluid comes out of the ear that we call ear discharge. Then itchiness in the ear canal. Then blisters, some small blisters form sometimes in the canal, and that burst and then create some problem. Then vertigo. Vertigo is nowadays a common issue, or what we call ear balance. That's why I have given all the three. It's motion sickness or ear balance. All these three are related. So as I explained, the inner ear, the cochlea has got that function. One part of that cochlea is actually doing the balancing of our human body. So vertigo problems or motion sickness and ear balance is another issue. Then ear wax. Sometimes heavy fat is formed inside the ear canal and creates problems. Then another issue is ringing. We get some sound inside the ears, or in allopathic term it is also called, in homeo also we use the same term, tinnitus. Tinnitus is a type of hearing unwanted sounds in the ear. And there are two other major medical terms which is associated with ear problems, that is otitis interna. It is nothing but internal ear infection, or we call inner ear infection, which always connects to the brain. So it has got some connection because that is the internal ear or inner ear. Inner ear has a direct connection with the brain. And other is otitis media, that is inflammation of the middle ear. So I have just mentioned what are the common ear problems we face: earache, mild deafness, ear discharge, itchiness and blisters, vertigo, motion sickness or ear balance, ear wax, ringing or tinnitus, otitis interna and otitis media. Let us go to the next. Now I'll discuss first common homeo medicines which we use for ear problems. Pulsatilla comes first when we think of ear problems. Cold symptoms, itching, green or yellow mucus, aggravation in the evening. If the aggravation happens in the evening and these symptoms are there, Pulsatilla is one of the major remedy. Belladonna. Belladonna is again we have seen whether it is a fever or a headache. For all that it comes. So you can say belladonna is something a common prescription for ear also. If you have fever, heat. Well, one of the property of belladonna is heat and redness, throbbing pain, and especially if the problem is in the right ear, belladonna is the main selection of homeo medicine. Chamomilla is again one of the major homeo medicine, and we often prescribe this to the children because they always get the problems in the early stages of their development. So chamomilla is mainly a medicine for children if they have ear problems. Hepar sulf, we know hepar sulf is always associated with some sort of pus formation or some sort of infection. So hepar sulf is always used when there is such type of infection and some fluid is generated, and if there is splinter-like feeling, I mean as if some glass pieces are pushing you or pinching you, such feeling is coming, then hepar sulf is the medicine. Ferrum phos, it is when there is a low fever and earache with the nose bleeding and noises in the ear and throbbing pain, then ferrum phos is one of the common medicine. Merc salt, mercury medicine, it is normally given in the advanced stages when the pus is formed or the discharge is thick and green, what you call greenish, and if there is offensive breath, smell is smell what comes out in the mouth and nose, if they are having offensive smell, then merc salt is given for the ear problems. Then next is lycopodium. This is also if you find when there is a discharge, especially thick offensive yellow discharge. So the difference is here it is yellow, merc salt is normally greenish. And if there is eczema around the ears, I mean the outer part of the ear, if you find the eczema in the skin problems, then further if you have peculiar echoes coming in the ear, then lycopodium can be given. So these are the main major medicines of ear in homeo. Now I will go as per the other symptoms or the main common problems by each. Now, if there is ear ache, so we will go by as per that classification I have given earlier. So the first one, always aconite comes. Any cold symptoms also, the first is there, we normally give aconite. So earache also, if it is sudden, we can give aconite, and that is given normally in the early stages of cold, 2 or 3 doses, and then we follow with other medicines like belladonna or merc salt if catarrh is there. So that is the first choice if the attack is sudden. And if there are boils inside the ear, and because of that, if you are getting earache, then Calcarea picrata is the medicine suggested for boils inside the ear, and because of that, if you are getting ear pain. And if you find shooting pain in the Eustachian tube, I mean, if you connect that tube, it is via the side of the nose, it is going to the back side. So if we find that pain is in that tube, Eustachian tube, then Allium cepa is the medicine. Chamomilla, that is intolerance of pain, worse by warmth and at night. It increases, that's why normally children cry at night only. So that's why this chamomilla medicine is given to them. This is increased or aggravated at night. Plantago is again a medicine for which is used for ear as well as for the teeth and gum problems. Plantago, it is also normally specific to children. It is a generic medicine, and when aggravated at night. Actias piccata, this is a symptom which is indicated by twitching pain, or what you call the pain is twitching into, I mean, tearing into different directions. And it happens when blowing the nose. Suppose cold is there, and if you are blowing the nose, if this pain appears, then Actias piccata is the medicine. If the pain is due to sinusitis, because in advanced stages people when they investigate, they say it is you have sinusitis problem, and if the pain is due to that, Calibike can be given. Then this is a peculiar symptom. If the pain get reduced, if you when you put fingers into the ears, if you just put the one finger inside the ear and just give a little pressure, and if you find better, and then at that time this medicine Actias can be actually taken from the what you call a small fungus-like medicine. It is a fool's parsley. I just wanted to know what it is, so I searched it and found it is that plant or the fungus is called fool's parsley. And this pain is, if it is you are feeling hot inside, you are getting the pain and you feel the heat inside, and if there is hissing sound associated, then this medicine is very apt. If you have now hearing loss or partial deafness, then Baritacarb, that is for all senior citizens. If they have hearing problems, it cannot be totally alleviated, but it can be reduced. So Baritacarb for all senior citizens, if they are having hearing loss or partial hearing loss, it can be given. Arnica, if you are having hearing loss after an injury or some trauma, any type of accident, then if you are losing the hearing, the loss of hearing, then arnica is always given. Hypericum, we know hypericum is always associated with the nerves. So if there is any injury along with the trauma, or if you have fallen or you got some hit, and if you expect that some nerve got injured, then hypericum also can be given along with arnica. So that problem of reduced. Pulsatilla, if you know there is some mid-ear infection is there, then pulsatilla can be given. So as I said, there are three parts. If infection is in the mid-ear, then pulsatilla can be given. Chinium sulph is given when there is a Meniere's disease. What is Meniere's disease? That is the vertigo associated problem. We will see later. Then it also can be given for hearing loss. So if you are having Meniere's disease, you may also have hearing loss. That's why this is put here. chenopodium if auditory nerve weakness is there. Suppose if anybody is having this complaint and if they go to ENT specialist, they do some test, and if they find that there is a problem with auditory nerve, there is a weakness of the auditory nerve, and if he is known to us, then we can give chenopodium. This problem can be cured. Then verbascum. This is also not a medicine which is always discussed. It is actually a Oleum mullein plant. We know there is an oil which we normally mullein from this plant. That is, the medicine is verbascum. If there is dryness of the meatus, that is external opening of the ear, and there is hearing loss, then we can give this medicine. Calimur, if there is a block in the Eustachian tube. Again, if there is a detection, nowadays all specialists, they immediately take some ENT specialists, they ask for some test and they do some scanning and all. If they say that there is a block in that, then Calimur can be given. There is ear discharge, that is some sort of fluid is coming out of the ear. Now this part is very important because you have to know what exactly is the discharge, what carrot. Now if you see the calcareous sulf, when the discharge is offensive, and can give calcareous sulf, the offensive smell. So there are different names given for each medicine. Heparin sulf, if we are having oversensitivity when you touch that area. So in that case, heparin sulf can be given. There is ear discharge along with oversensitivity. Calibyke, ears swollen up and there is tearing pain and the discharge is yellow and sticky, then Calibyke can be given. Merxol, I already mentioned earlier, if the discharge is green, thick, acrid and pungent, means very strong smell is there, and if it is green and thick, then Merxol can be given. Pulsatilla, if the discharge is very profuse and bland in the sense there is no specific features. I have given that in the thing, there is no specific features in that, just some fluid, but it is profuse. In that case, Pulsatilla can be given. And Tellurium, it smells like fish pickle. This is what is mentioned. Fish pickle, it is it gives some very odd smell. So if that type of smell is coming in the discharge, then Tellurium can be given. So we can see according to the type of the discharge, the thickness, the blandness, or its color, or its smell. Depending on that, we can choose any of these medicine. So we have to be very careful to listen to the patient, what kind of feeling they have when there is discharge. Then itchiness and burning inside. Agaricus is the main medicine. In that case, there is burning. And agaricus is made from fly fungus. It's from that it is made. It is actually a poison, so it is made from that one. It is even, I think, used in allopathy also. Ammonium myrrh or aurum met. If there is burning in the ear, especially while walking in cold air, then we can use this. Burning in the ear while walking in cold air, then along with itchiness and is there, you can give this medicine, ammonium myrrh or aurum met. Causticum, burning and redness in ears. Again, some feeling of other than the burn, this redness in the ears, that area is red in color. Then causticum. Epismel, burning with stinging pain. If there is stinging pain and burning sensation, epismel, that is we also use in other areas also. Epismel is used whenever there is burning sensation. Then calcarea phos, and burning is in spots, not in that area. Some spots you find there is burning. If the patient says like that, it is in some area there is a burning like feeling, then specifically you have to give calcarea phos. Then Meniere's disease, which I mentioned in one of the slides, that is a vertigo. Now what is this? When you the ears, the innermost ear where we have the cochlea, it has got two parts I mentioned. One is there are three semicircular rings which is carrying fluid. So actually this is for sensing the movement of the body, and it is carried and conveyed to the what we call the brain. So brain has got a perceived movement of the body from ear. And if what the eye perceive is different from what the ear gives to the brain, then there is a conflict. I think all of you understood what I am mentioning. The movement sensed by the ears, the inner ear, the cochlea, is sent to the brain. So which senses, yes, the man is moving in this direction or with this speed. Some sensing is there in the brain. But if the eyes are perceiving something else, then there is a conflict happening in the brain and the balance goes. This is how we get this Meniere's disease, or what you call a type of motion sickness. When we travel in the car, some people have the problem of vomiting, travel sickness. It is due to this. They look at something and the ear perceives the movement of the vehicle, it is moving in a fast speed, then there is a conflict happening in the brain, and that is why we get motion sickness. So that is why doctors advise not to look at the books or look at the mobile phones, or just look at the inner part of the car. Instead, focus on the outside, so that your eye sees the outside, that you are moving, and your ear is also sensing the movement of the body, so there will not be any conflict. So those who have the travel sickness, if they do, up to certain extent this can be reduced. So this is a rare disorder in which the fluid in the inner ear increases, and this creates higher pressure which disturbs the balance, and the motion sickness when there is a conflict between what the inner ear perceives and the eye, then the motion sickness comes, and this mostly happens in children. Of course, in some elders also it happens. Now, what are the medicines? Cocculus indica. When there is nausea, vomiting, and travel sickness, we normally give Cocculus indica. Borax, when there is a feeling of afraid of falling, we feel that I am going to fall because of this vertigo, then borax can be given. Conium maculatum, it can be given when vertigo is there in lying down, and in that position when you turn the head, you get the vertigo. Lying down, and when you turn the head, you get the vertigo, conium maculatum. And giddiness with the loss of sight, not only feeling of vertigo, that giddiness, you also feel the sight is lost temporarily, then gelsemium is the medicine. Carbonium sulf, when sudden attacks are there of vertigo, when sitting, you are sitting and no other movements, but even then there is sudden attack, carbonium sulf. Chenopodium is when there is sudden vertigo with buzzing sound in the ears. Now you feel like falling down and there is a sound happening in the ears, then Chenopodium. Chenopodium is made out of Jerusalem oak. This I just wanted to know what it is, so I got this. Silesia is when there is roaring sound with like pistol sound. When there is pistol, like as a firing sound is there inside the ears, and there is vertigo along with that, Silesia. Then Pteridium. Pteridium is sorry. Pteridion is you are having this vertigo when you close the eyes. At that time, if you have this vertigo problem, then Theridion. It is also a rare medicine we normally did not discuss in the classes, I feel. That is made from orange spider. Earwax. Now, what is earwax? I had a feeling in fact, I myself say this. I thought, whenever we take bath, some water or soap maybe going inside, and that may be, or some dust and all, and that may be forming wax. This was my feeling even. But it is not like that. It is naturally produced in the ear canal to self-clean, to prevent dust, water and other irritants entering into the ear. So this is a fact. It is not something which is going from outside to inside the ear and staying there and becoming wax. It is actually produced. There are some glands inside the ear canal which produce this wax. So it is a wanted thing, not an unwanted thing. We try to clean it out every time, but it should not be cleaned. Now, if it is in excess, yes, we have to clean it. For that, we have to approach doctors who can clean it if it is in excess. But if it is small in quantity, we need not clean it on a daily basis and all. So we know mullein oil is the best remedy for earwax. If there is thick earwax inside, if you put mullein oil, 2 drops, then it loosens, it becomes soft and it comes out. So little amount of wax inside is okay, but if it is exceeding and becoming thick, then we use mullein oil to make it thin and to flow it out, or we can take it out with some soft tissues. Conium mac, it is the best medicine to reduce wax formation. If you feel that your ear has got a excess production of wax than others, conium mac can be given. Causticum or silicea, if there is impacted wax, means wax is deep inside the ear and almost blocking the eardrum, then you can use causticum or silicea. Silicea is very often given in the many books I have seen. Silicea can be given for reducing the wax formation. Lachesis, if there is bluish fungus in the eardrum. So this all wax and all, finally it becomes very bluish inside. Lachesis, we know lachesis is made from the snake poison. So it has got a property wherever we find bluish color, whether it is varicose vein or anything, where you find a bluish color, then we can use lachesis. So if you find that bluish color of fungus inside, we can give lachesis. And silicea, if there is white fungus. Lachesis is for bluish fungus. If white fungus is there in the eardrum, then silicea can be given. Tinnitus. Now we are coming to the hearing noises in the ear. Sometimes we get ear noises, unwanted noises. Go through this. So such things happens in everybody gets in once in a while, or at least once in a lifetime. People must have got it. If during a flu, viral flu is there, and you have vertigo and you are hearing some noises in the ear, then Karbovich. If there is buzzing, ringing, roaring sound, okay, like roaring in the howling type of sound and ringing sound, all these are coming, then chinium sulf can be given. Aloes, explosion like breaking a glass. If you break, so that sound comes, so such type of sound is coming inside the brain, you give aloes. If there is cracking noises when chewing, when you are taking some food and chewing, you find some cracking noise inside the ear, give alumina and veritamur. Hear one's own echo. Whatever I say, I get the same thing little later in my ears. If that is the case, if you are hearing my own echo, then causticum and lycopodium, depending upon the constitution we can give. Lycopodium is a constitutional medicine, so you can choose that. Belladonna. Belladonna is whenever there is a sound in synchronization with your heartbeat, then belladonna. This I have experienced myself. I think I discussed with once Dr. Murthy also. I had this problem. I was getting continuous heartbeat in my ears. So I went. Those days I did not try much this medicine. I went to an ENT doctor to see why it is coming, because it was disturbing me in the night. Then they have done so many tests and then finally said it is a type of masking is to be given, then it will be cured. So they asked me for 3 days to come and do some masking tone. They will make you to hear for some 10 minutes. But I found there is no much relief. But after coming that day, a third day when I came back home, I just read belladonna in the what you call it, the Metia Medica. Then I found it is written in the ear when there is synchronization with your heartbeat. Any sound is there, then you can use belladonna. I immediately took 1 dose of belladonna, and with that 1 dose itself, that problem was gone. So I was so surprised. Though I took 1 or 2 doses, next 2 days it never repeated again. So such beautiful medicines and prescriptions we have in homeopathy. Then calcarea car, cracking and pulsing sound. If there is cracking and pulsing sound, then lycopodium, again it is showing second time humming, roaring and hearing impairment. It is given when cracking and hissing and gunshot lightning associated with the deafness. Then graphite. If there is moving train sound, it's funny medicines. We have moving train sound inside, then it is mentioned you give Kalimur. So for every type of sound we hear in the ears, there is a homeopathic medicine. And it is not a simple thing. You go to ENT specialist, they will say so many things, masking. I find these medicines are much better than that. So tinnitus can be cured with homeopathic medicines. Then middle ear infection, or what you call otitis media. It is the middle ear infection, and otitis interna, that is the inner ear. So if there is chronic middle ear catarrh, that means there is some liquid is formed and it is stagnant there, give causticum. Catarrh in the middle ear, the other one is chronic and this is sudden appearance. Then tellurium. Then tellurium is a metallic medicine, it's taken from the tellurium metal. Sorinum, when there is a discharge and it is fetid, offensive and putrid. So if you find that is a discharge which in this, then we can use sorinum. Then capsicum, when the eardrum is perforated. If doctors say there is a hole happened in the eardrum, this small hole and discharge is coming from the inner ear, the middle ear, then itching and all is there, then you can give capsicum. Asafoetida, when there is offensive pus-like discharge, very foul smell and offensive discharge, pus is coming, asafoetida can be tried, and other common medicines which as per the symptoms can be tried for otitis media and otitis interna. It is happening into the deep inside, in the inner part, which we have to cure as per the specific symptoms. Now I am concluding it. Symptoms are important while choosing the remedy for ear. Okay, of course, for all homeopathic medicine we go for as per symptom, but some of the cases I have mentioned, you have to be very careful about observing the symptoms. The color, order of the discharge, that is smell of the discharge, etc. is to be inquired. Type of pain, like whether it is tearing pain, pinching pain, splinter-like pain, or how it is felt. It is a information from the patient, then only we can give the best medicine. Tinnitus, it is the nature of sound points to the right remedy. The sound, as I mentioned, with the nature of the sound will detect which medicine is to be given for sounds in the ear. If there is ear tear, temporary ear tear, the eardrum, that if there is a tear happening, that is a small crack or something happening, it is said that you need not worry, it will be self-healed within 7 days. No need to clean the ear regularly. Wax is supposed to be there so that no unwanted things or small insects or small things do not crawl inside. It is made slippery there, so need not to be cleaned every now and then. If there is excess wax, then we can give homeopathic medicine and use Midline oil. Don't use earphones for long time with high sound. Nowadays, the mobile nature has come. In a home, everybody got a mobile. All children, especially, they listen to music in high sound with the earphones. It is giving 6 to 9 decibels of excess sound, more than what is required for the ear. So that is creating deafness or partial deafness in the long run. So this advice, with this advice to the younger group, I conclude my lecture. Thank you.
Thank
Hope
you.
I am-
Thank you, Judge sir. Very excellent
Dr.
lecture you have given.
Yeah.
Very excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Sir Surendra sir or Anup Kumar.
Very good lecture. Very good lecture. Most informative to not only to elect members. If anybody hears this,
Yeah.
they'll take all precautions that are required for the particularly older age.
George sir, you can answer.
I wish George to give
More
so
like-
many lectures in future so that
Oh,
we'll
next
be
week. Next
more
he is coming with
educated.
nose and throat also. Nose and throat also after some
Yes,
time.
afterwards.
I
Excellent.
don't have that much experience in using medicine, sir, but I'm trying.
No, it's
See,
done.
what
It is-
happened-
It is much more than enough. Like it's such a elaborate lecture. It's very detailed and very useful to everybody. As Surendra sir said, it is not like you are inexperienced. You are very much experienced and doing very well.
Very well.
It's a very good presentation.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir. Thank
What
you.
happens when people regularly go for weekly for philosophical lectures, though they like the person concerned, they'll have aversion or they may have sleep. So, if the changes like this, change of voice, elect members will become more alert, and alert. So thank George once again, because you have given earlier lectures also. It was very good, very good, very good. Today it was very smooth and fine. I wish you to keep it up. Thank you, thank you. Murthy sir,
Tell me, sir. Suresh sir will talk.
ah,
It's audible? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
sir, yes, sir, you can
Yes.
take
Yes.
God sir, excellent presentation. Very excellent presentation. You have covered very neatly topic, that is segment wise. That is in presentation, every segment has its own value and own communication to the students actually. So you have taken initially the anatomy part of it. I'm very happy that you have covered anatomy the first and you have done that role. After that you have discussed with the various issues and diseases related to the ear, and then ultimately you took the medicines also, remedies also, and finally you concluded with the necessity, that is important precautions one must take with reference to safety of the ear. So there's all information put into segmental approach and done very neatly, and almost every medicine has been brought into the different diseases. That is more important, and very neat presentation, and very crisp presentation also, not like very elaborately, but very neatly and crisply presented, and very informative, very informative. And I wish that George will start to present more and more such presentation with reference to different organs of the body, so that we will also come to know more and more from him also, because every time, every presentation, some new information is given to others. That is my personal view. Whenever a person takes a special pain and special efforts in doing some presentation, always there is not only his personal efforts, but there is something new, ideas, new thoughts are being also delivered to the audience. So in this presentation, I found some of the new things which were not discussed earlier. So once again, we thank George sir also for this. So thank you, George sir. Keep it up, and we'll like to listen more and more from presentations. Thank you.
Thanks.
Our professor also has to give a lecture. It's a long back. What do you say, Mr. Murthy?
Yes, I've already asked him. I think most probably next month or
Because
by April he may tell.
Unfortunately, what is happening, sir? I am not
Let him take
practicing or doing anything
You
in
take
the
some-
dialectic.
some good subject
Good subject, we'll
and
see.
enlighten us.
Most probably he may take in April,
Okay.
Yes.
at the time of Ugadi.
Not April, maybe little later. Okay.
Okay. So any questions? Madam, one more thing I am asking. Every week I am asking questions means nobody is telling. But some people every week, some problem will be there. Some pain will be there, or something will be there on the bodily or mind wise. They will take some homeo medicines by asking somebody or by referring the books or anything. That please come out in the next class what they have taken. Now today our Padmaja madam. Madam Padmaja madam. Last week I think it seems you have taken some certain medicines for your granddaughter or like that. Please explain that one. What is the symptoms? What medicine you have given? How it cured you? And how you are satisfied?
My granddaughter is having adenoids problem, sir. For
Okay.
that is inflamed adenoids.
Ah,
She is continuously having cold.
ah,
So I have given Agrafis and Beretacarb and Bio 5 and 6 other cold medicines.
ah.
But I asked our Surendra sir and Anup Kumar sir what would it is not going in. Then they have advised me Murthy and Surendra sir advised me to give Basilinum 30 weekly twice. 3 days for 1 dose for 3 days. And Anup Kumar sir advised me to give Arsenicol and acid nitric. Like that he advised me. I used those medicines, my granddaughter is okay now.
Okay. If it is still any pending is there in that treatment, Agrafis Newton is the proper medicine.
Yeah, I have given that, sir.
That you have to continue in 3x.
In addition with that, I am asking for other.
Yes. This is the curing part. So if anything, what is the age of that child?
5 years, sir.
If future, if anything repeated means you can give Agrafis Newtons 3x and Calcarea for 6x. These two medicines for 15 days if you give, everything will set right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's a continuation of the treatment.
Okay, sir.
Exactly, will work on the tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis and adenoids, upper portion.
Yeah, adenoids also, yes.
Adenoids.
It is for adenoids also, sir.
Yes. Any person who has treated himself and his family members in their house, so all are healthy. No treatment for them. No doubts, no treatment, no medicines. What is this?
Sir,
Any-
Murthy, sir,
Tell me.
for if there is any actually that middle ear is helping for balancing our body.
Yes, madam.
What are
See,
the
middle ear and inner ear, that is having fluid, God given gift. Every area fluid will be there. In that fluid any imbalances comes means naturally some vertigo will be there, or certain numbness will be there in that area. So whenever he is getting up from a chair, or when walking somebody is pushing him, like that sensation will be there. It is increased means they will call it as a Meniere's disease. The Meniere's disease is nothing but a vertigo. For that, generally our George sir has told excellent medicines that you can follow.
Yeah.
Theridion is one of the best remedy. Conium, Cocculus, Tabacum. I think George sir has not touched that one. Tabacum, because senior people, senior citizens always will get this Meniere's disease. For them, Tabacum also we have to give. Because in the younger age, middle age, they will strain a lot mentally and physically. At that time, heart pumping will be different. So that will give that effect after 65 years. So Tabacum also, think about it. If the symptoms tally, add Tabacum also.
okay, okay. Thank
See,
you.
what happens after 55 to 60 years, slowly the hearing loss will be there.
Naturally.
So you take hypericum in the beginning, Calimore biosalt.
Okay.
But sometimes you begin to know that nervous weakness is there. So ferrum picricum helps. Ferrum picricum
Excellent.
helps.
Okay, okay.
In some cases, what happens? The entire body, due to old age, the deafness becomes more severe. So medorinum is the best medicine as there, but it has been taken in periodically, not regularly, higher dose. It may help. Plus, I tell you, there is no recovery of complete cure because of the old age. Slowly it has to go, but you can maintain slow deafness rather than fast deafness.
Okay.
So you can't avoid, cannot avoid. After 70 to 80 years, it is very difficult to hear. Whoever is baby. So they will have hearing aids. Hearing aids temporarily relieves, but it damages more because vibrations, electric vibrations or battery vibrations are there, it damages. It may also damage the brain cells also. I am not advising you not to use it, but you see some professionals, they have to have it. For example, advocate profession, when the judge sits so long, some 50 feet, 55 feet away, it's very difficult, and they talk slowly and we also talk slowly. You see, in many cases I've seen, the clients ask, so what is it that you're transferred between judge and advocate? We are not able to understand. So that is the reason. But you see, this all happens. But inevitable. My personal experience, I say, I'm only maintaining. I'm not able to have a total regain of my 20 power loss, hearing loss. So, but don't damage it further by applying these appliances. I used to hear the devotional songs with a high altitude. I like it because I want to just close my eyes and I want to hear it. So that is also could be the reason. See, at any point of time, we cannot penetrate the sensitive nerves with higher damages. You must know your limitation. According to that, you must take it. Okay. Handing over to Murthy.
Mullein oil you can use every 10 days or weekly once, 2 drops in each ear by keeping some cotton bud. Just 2 to 3 minutes after that you can remove the cotton bud. Mullein oil will give excellent. And monthly twice also you can use after certain age.
Sometimes as if we are falling on the feeling, అది maybe cervical spondylitis or biliary problem. I have to.
No, the doctors has to tell, but for you only conium, because we are 60, above 60 now, conium will work excellently. Even our Surendra sir has told ferrum pick, that also will work excellently.
Actually, I am not a BP patient.
No,
Just
see,
balancing
BP, here
the-
BP will not come.
Yeah,
Here is
actually,
entirely
the
different.
balancing problem recently I am facing. That's why.
Ear and neck problem, neck area, that middle oblongata area only it will. From here it may pass, and age wise, and is what we called anything thinner in the neck area, that will create a problem in your pushing somebody to you. That is a type of vertigo or a type of giddiness. So at that time you want to sit
Yeah,
or
yeah.
calmly flat.
Sir.
For that conium, excellently it will work, and Calimore, ferrum pick, good medicines.
Is it blocking? Can you?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Judge, sir, very nice presentation, sir.
Thank you, madam. So nice of you. I enjoyed.
Very nice presentation. Last time also you have
Welcome
given
to the-
very nicely you have presented.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Padmaja madam, when you will take the class?
I am ready, sir.
Okay, next month
But
we will see.
You have given me a very lengthy lecture, sir.
Doesn't matter. Next month we will see.
I don't know where I have to start and where.
No,
I
you
have
can
to
start from today. 1 month is there. After
I
you,
have
in
given-
May, our professor sir will take.
I have given.
No, I will, sir, I will help you, sir. Narayan garu, I will help you. Don't worry.
No, but May, April and
Murthy garu, you
Ah.
have given joint pains all over the body. So I have to explain each and every joint in the body means
Ah.
and medicines for that.
Ah.
How?
No, you
I
can-
tried 6 months and
Doesn't matter. You can take, madam. You can take.
That
I,
is a
I think Dinesh sir has some question. I think.
Yes.
Dinesh sir, go ahead.
Dinesh
I
sir.
have
Yeah, yeah.
I have one
Yeah.
question.
Sir, namaskar, sir.
Dinesh
First
sir,
of all, yeah, sir. First of all, sir, George sir, it was really very outstanding presentation, sir. And in that regard, sir, just I want to know because my mother is around 90 years old. So obviously, because of the age, some hearing loss is started coming. So just I want to know whether if I use the Beretta car, so how frequently she should take should she take daily or occasionally like that? Just I wanted to know, sir.
Sir, if you want to take Benita carb, selected means morning Benita carb 30, evening conium 30, in between Calimore 6x morning and afternoon, 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Like that you give for 10-15 days. So observation you tell me.
Beretta car morning.
Morning
conium-
30.
conium-
Conium evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. In between Calimore 6x morning and evening 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Like that you keep that one. 6x. Calimore is 6x.
Calimore 6x.
If you want, you can add Califos also. If you want, 3 pills.
Okay. Okay, sir. I will.
You try for 2 weeks. Because 2 Sundays, if you go, the third Sunday you can tell any result, any improvement. Because improvement will be 30% to 40% only. Because she is 90.
Yeah.
Some improvement will be there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you,
I
sir.
will try, sir.
Yeah. Professor, you have some question. Go ahead, sir.
Professor wants to say something.
Generally, eye sounds I irritates. Actually, it is not bearable. But in general, this car door sound, I don't particularly, I'm not able to tolerate. Even it is very slow also. Car sound, car door. When you put a door in, it will start a, that particular sound will come. Yeah, so that sound, especially, not bearable.
Maybe
Only
your
recently.
illustration canal is blocked maybe, and when you are sitting inside the car and somebody is closing the car, the pressure there is a pressure inside when the door is blocked, and that is blocking your that is giving pressure into your ear. So you have to check the eustachian canal, and there is a good medicine what George sir has told for eustachian canal blockage. You can use that.
That's okay. Okay. The doctor, when I went to ENT doctor,
Uh,
he said some nerve weakness and all that, B12 and all that. So B12, 185 to 650 I could able to bring now, after 6 months. But even then, that particular problem is not there.
This is because of the block. The balance of the external ear and the internal ear is not like when you suddenly close the door, the
Ah.
pressure builds up into the outer ear, and that is the banging sound is being heard loudly. So you have to service the eustachian canal by opening it up.
So that particular medicine I should use.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
Any questions, or otherwise we'll close the session?
I think sir, yeah, there is nothing much we can wind up.
Any questions? So next week we will see. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, George, sir. Special thanks to you, man of the match.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.